Bonjour tout le monde! In today's video, we're going to be looking at some really clever little structures known as comparatives. Comparatives are super useful and they allow us to do exactly what it says on the tin. They allow us to compare two things. We use them in English as well as in French. They can be used to say that something is more than or less than something else, or maybe that something is better than something else, or as something else. In French, we would say perhaps an example like this. Le français est plus intéressant que le PS. French is more interesting than PE. Or we might say, la physique est moins difficile que la chimie. Physics is less difficult than chemistry. They're so useful, these comparative terms, and particularly in your current topic for school subjects, talking about teachers, uniforms, and all sorts of other things linked to school. So let's see if we can start learning how to use them ourselves. Here, we've got three different types of comparatives. First of all, in example A, I'm going to show you how to say more or less than. So, what we do is we take our noun, which could be a school subject or a teacher or a colour, any noun, anything, any object, anything that you can touch, and we say that noun is or are more or less something than something else. So, as in our example above, French is more interesting than PE, or physics is less difficult than chemistry. We could also say, I don't know, Manchester United is more successful than Wolverhampton. Who knows? In our second example, we could say that something is as something else. If you are equally impressed with two school subjects, you might say that French is as interesting as English. Or you might say that homework is as boring as Love Island. Two nouns with our comparative in the middle and an adjective. The final comparative structure that we're going to be looking at in today's video is using the phrase better than. And again, we just take our two nouns and we say noun is better than noun. So let's think. We could say geography is better than history, or we could say a jumper is better than a blazer. There are so many different ways we can use these comparative structures. You will be able to look at this special little box to help you and keep you on track while we're using these examples below. And eventually over time, hopefully, some of these phrases will start to embed and you'll be able to use these comparatives independently. Let's have a look at this first example. Here, I would like you to circle the subject that each person is most positive about. So have a look at our comparative structures in each and see which subject the person prefers. We'll do the first two together, then you can pause the video and have a look at the remaining three before coming back to see my answers. Here's our first example then. Le français est plus difficile que les sciences. French is more, we can see that up here. We've got our plus, more. French is more difficult than science. So if this person thinks that French is more difficult than science, they're more positive about the science lessons. How about our second example? Le PS est moins ennuyeux que l'informatique. PE is less boring than computing. So if PE is less boring than computing, computing must be more boring than PE, so PE is the subject that this person prefers. Have a look at the remaining three and then come back and check your answers. Here we've got chemistry is more easy than biology, so chemistry is easier than biology. Plus facile, so they obviously are more positive about chemistry because they think it's easier. Here, les maths sont aussi difficiles que le théâtre. Maths is aussi, let's check. Aussi as. So maths is as difficult as drama. Ooh, right. So in this case, they are split on both. They think that maths and drama are the same. Finally, La technologie est mieux que l'espagnol. Mieux. Let's have a look. Check that one because it's not plus or moins. We haven't seen that one yet. Mieux que meaning better than. So technology is better than English. There we go. They prefer technology. All right, let's move on to our last activity to practice this skill. We'll do the first two together and then I'll leave you to do the remainders before we go through the answers. So I want you to translate these comparative sentences. I've also added in some of our opinion starters that we've seen before, just to make sure we're still revising those. Selon moi, Madame Verte est plus patiente que Madame Bleue. Selon moi, according to me, Madame Verte, so she would be Madame Green, is plus. What does that mean? Can we remember? We go back to our comparatives. Plus meaning more. So according to me, Madame Green is more patient than Madame Blue. Okay. Sentence 2. Je pense que, a lovely opinion starter. I think that. Je pense que les maths sont moins intéressants. We're going to check that comparative. Moins, what did that one mean? Moins meaning less. So I think that maths is less interesting than English. Hopefully you're getting the hang of these. Remember, you can use the table at the top to help you. Pause the video here and try and go through the remaining examples before you come back and check against my answers. À mon avis, in my opinion, PE is, we're going to check here this aussi. We checked it in our grid. Aussi meaning as. So PE is as tiring, tiring being our adjective, is as tiring as music. Oh, they've changed now. They're all in English, so we're going to need to be able to use our French. I think that. We've seen that before in a previous example, so we can reuse that there. Je pense que Monsieur Blanc, Mr. White, is better. We'd better go back to our grid and just check on that one. What was better than? Mieux que. Brilliant. Okay, let's get that in then. Monsieur Blanc est mieux que Mr. Red, Monsieur Rouge. Right. In my opinion, again, we've seen that. We saw that in the previous examples. We can reuse that. À mon avis, drama, le théâtre, is less. We go back to our grid again to check less. Where was less? Moins is less difficult than history. And finally, according to me. Again, we had that in a previous example. So according to me, reminding ourselves of those lovely opinion starters from our media topic. Selon moi, la chimie is as useful as. We need to just check that in our grid. What was as? Aussi. Aussi utile. Utile being our adjective, useful, que la biologie. Well done, everybody. I hope that those make sense to you. If not, you can always come back and watch the video again. And as always, set as homework in your booklet. If you follow the QR codes, you'll be able to revisit this video at home. Have a go at the Google Doc, please. Also complete some revision through the Quizlet set, and there will also be a homework sheet for you to complete to practice some really similar exercises from home. Good luck, and I'll speak to you soon. Au revoir.